This is Charlie Jordan in 2021, and for over 30 years the Joe Franklin Memory Lane Show over WOR-AM enjoyed a wide listenership as a top nostalgia program on the East Coast. What follows are some fragments I recorded of the Joe Franklin Show in the 1970s and 80s. You'll find more complete air checks of Memory Lane elsewhere on my channel. First is an upload of a rare air check of Joe Franklin as heard over the NBC Biographies in Sound program from 1956.
Now, stay tuned for Biographies in Sound on NBC.
This is a Biography in Sound. The National Broadcasting Company presents They Knew George M. Cohen.
I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy.
The voice of America's favorite song and dance man.
Real-life nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July.
And the voices of those who knew him.
Well, I first saw George M. Cohen not on the stage, but around the Central Park Reservoir here in New York City.
I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, a real-life nephew of my...
They Knew George M. Cohen, a biography in sound of one of the most fabulous figures in show business history.
For it is Mary, Mary, plain as any name can be, but with propriety, society will say Marie. But it was Mary, long before the fashions came, and there is something there that sounds so square. It's a grand old day.
Well, I first saw George M. Cohen not on the stage, but around the Central Park Reservoir here in New York City.
This is Joe Franklin, a radio and television performer who specializes in collecting the recordings of show business entertainers. The recordings of songs by George M. that we hear are original copies from the Franklin collection and were made almost 50 years ago. Other songs, all written by George M. Cohen, are presented by Fred Waring and his Pennsylvanians, or George M. Cohen, Jr. and the Gill Choristers.
I was wandering around the reservoir on a chilly spring day, and I came upon this dapper-looking fellow feeding the pigeons. And I don't know how it happened, but I don't know. I was a reporter for my high school newspaper, and I asked him if I couldn't interview him for the publication. He said, well, it's kind of snappy out here in the park, kid. He called everybody kid, I later found out. He said, why don't you come over to my house for dinner one night? We made the date, and I was up there a couple of nights later, and we had a wonderful dinner. I asked him if he had ever made any records. He said, yes, kid, I did make a couple of records back in the old days. As a matter of fact, I might have one in my closet. And he went digging. He brought me out an old one-sided record. But I've got to bring out one little gag, if you want to call it a gag, of Cohen's. I asked him why he only made 7 records when the other people, such as the Jolsons and the Cantors and the others, made thousands and thousands. Well, he must have been kidding. He said, Joe, the reason that I only made 7 records in my life is I felt that if the people in the small towns heard the way I sing off-key, they'd never come to see me when I came to their towns to play my performances. But one thing we ought to bring out, these records, which are almost a half-century old, definitely don't even begin to recapture the wonder of this great and brilliant Yankee Doodle dandy. The only thing we can do when we do hear one of these records is try and visualize that wonderful man running up and down the stage with his bamboo cane, that sly wink in his eye, that famous gray derby. And even from these old scratchy records, we can imagine a little bit of the magic that was the Yankee Doodle dandy.
I've been around a bit. I've met a lot of girlies and I'm proud of it. But Cupid kinda tipped me that the time has come to quit. Oh, I'm in love just as sure as any fellow ever was in love. And that's no kid, lots of things I'd like to go and tell her, but she wouldn't understand me if I did. I don't know what to say. She's such a little jay. She can't tell a bead from a pearl. She's not that kind of a girl. She doesn't know a blessed thing she hadn't ought to know. She knows just enough, and that's as far as she can go. She isn't the kind that appeals to Mr. Wise Guy, that slaps you on the back and calls you pal. I've seen them all. I'm going to fall for a small town girl.
8 o'clock p.m., May 14th, 1971. Now stand by for a segment of the Joe Franklin Show as recorded from WOR in New York.
Friday night, we thank John Scott for the nice introduction. Yours truly, Joe Franklin, hosting Monday through Friday, 8:15 to 9 over the one and the only WOR. This is our time to get together and chat. Not our hour, but our 45 minutes. And we do meet sensational people who normally have a lot to say, and a lot of people pay attention to what they have to say.
The Request Parade, an unforgettable man and his music. Let's go back to the 30s and 40s, and of course 90 hours couldn't possibly contain all of the best of Glenn Miller, but here is just a little bit of the best of that incredibly youthful and vibrant and colorful Glenn Miller name and the Glenn Miller sound.
Mopping up soda pop Ricky, to our heart's delight. Dance to swing-a-roo quickie, jukebox Saturday night. Goodman and Kaiser and Miller help to make things right. Make the hot licks with vanilla, jukebox Saturday night. They put nothing past us, me and Honey Land. Making one cold blaster till it's time to spend. Money we really don't need that. We make out all right. Let the other guy keep that jukebox Saturday night. After sipping on soda, we got a scheme. Somebody else plays the record machine. It's so easy to say pet names when you listen to the trumpet of Harry James. If I didn't know why the roses grow, then I wouldn't know why the roses else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, 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 don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, 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 don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me till I come marching home. I just got word from a guy who heard from the guy next door to me. Girl he met just loved too bad, and it fit you to a T. So don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home.
Don't give out with those lips of yours to anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. What the girls on foreign shores, you have to report to me when you come marching home. Don't hold anyone on your knee. You better be true to me. You better be true to me. You better be true to me. Don't hold anyone on your knee. You get no third degree when you come marching home. You're on your own where there is no phone, and I can't keep tab on you. Be fair to me, I'll guarantee this is one thing that I'll do. I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you till you come marching home.
Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. I know the apple tree is reserved for you and me, and I'll be true until you come marching home.
Roy Smeck. Eddie Peabody was known as Mr. Banjo, and Roy Smeck, our good friend, is still known as the Wizard of the Strings. Their names on those vaudeville marquees years ago used to appear in towering letters, huge letters. They really brought the public, they really brought the patrons into the vaudeville theaters. I'd like to recall for you right now the late Eddie Peabody and his banjo as they played For Me and My Gal, and then Roy Smeck and his ukulele doing Ain't She Sweet. very easy vaudeville listening. Roy Smeck, and he was preceded by Eddie Peabody. That was really a musical trip back to another time, back to a vaudeville time. And the veteran maestro conducting, Leo Reisman.
WOR in New York.
Oh, I'm the chappie to make you happy. I'll tie your shoesies, chase your bluesies. Oh, lady, would you? Oh, lady, could you use me? I'd shake the mat out and put the cat out. I'd clean the garret and feed the parrot. Oh, lady, would you? Oh, tell me, could you use me? Do you realize what a good man you're getting in me? I'm no Elker Mason or Woodman who gets home at 3. The girls who see me grow soft and dreamy, but I'm a gander who won't philander. Oh, could you use me? 'Cause I certainly could use you. There's a chap I know in Mexico who's as strong as he can be, eating nails and drinking Texaco. He is the type for me. There is one in California, more romantic far than you. When he sings hot shots at Sonia, I often think he'll do. But as for you, sir, I'm afraid you will never make the grade. Boy, you're no cowboy, you're soft and hot, boy, I feel no muscle, let's fit for tussle. I must refuse you, I cannot use you, excuse me. No nightlife for you, the birds would bore you, the cows won't know you, a horse would throw you, you silly man, you, to ask me, can you use me? Though with love you may be a wizard, I'm wanting to know, could you warm me up in a blizzard, say 40 below? Your thighs are freakish, your knees are weakish, you're not a slender, you elbow bender, though you can use me, I most certainly can't use you.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, alone. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be kissed by you alone. Because I could aspire to anything higher than still the desire to make you my own. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. I wanna be loved by you, just you and nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you.
Helen Kane, the one and only Helen Kane, doing big-time Broadway vaudeville. And that was recorded exactly 48 years ago in 1928. And that kind of ties in with leap year, because anybody who was born 48 years ago in leap year on February 29th, 1928, will be 12 years old tomorrow, February 29th, 1976, because they have had only 12 official birthdays.
That was recorded at 20 minutes after 9 p.m. from Memory Lane on WOR, Saturday, February 28th, 1976.
I never thought I'd miss you so. Somehow I feel your love was real. Near you I long to be. The birds are singing, it is song time. The banjo's strumming soft and low. I know that you yearn for me too. Swanee, you're calling me. How I love you, my dear old Swanee. I'd give the world to be among the folks in the Ayakaitan. Oh, my mammy's waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee. The folks up north will see me no more when I go to the Swanee shore. Swanee, I am coming back to Swanee. I love the old folks at home. Swanee, how I love you, my dear old Swanee. I give the world to be among the folks in the exciting. Oh, my mammy waiting for me, praying for me down by the sea. The folks up north will see me no more when I go to the
Why should I try to resist when, darling, I know so well I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin.
Possibly or probably for the first time in almost 50 years over any radio station, the records of Will Osborne, the late and wonderful Will Osborne. It might be noted, maybe you've noticed by now, it might have occurred to you, my friends, that Will Osborne sounded somewhat like Rudy Vallee on the vocals. As a matter of fact, Rudy Vallee created quite a stir. He created a major controversy, you might say, in the press, claiming that Will Osborne was an imitator and, quote, he was trying to steal my stuff, unquote. It was a highly publicized feud back in the 1930s between Rudy and Will, but the audiences didn't mind, the public didn't care, because they adored both of them. Back to Will Osborne and his music and his voice and my memory lane party following this good reading reminder.
Win $500 this week just for being born. Or win a trip to Hawaii for two in a grand prize drawing. You could, just for finding your birth date in the Record, New Jersey's largest evening newspaper. It's the birthday game. Here's how it works. Every day in the Record, you'll find certain months, dates, and years listed in the birthday game. Find your complete birthday in the Record. Then fill out the entry blank, send it in, and you're in this week's drawing for a $500 first prize. Or for 5 $100 second prizes. There's a new birthday game every week for 8 weeks, starting on Sunday and ending on Friday. Every possible birthday is in every game every week. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. You will find an entry form and complete rules in the Record, daily and Sunday. Or at the Record's offices in Hackensack and Wayne, New Jersey. Read the Record daily and Sunday and play the birthday game. You could win $500 just for being born.
Will Osborne and his orchestra. He does his own vocal, 1936, in the Chapel in the Moonlight.
To hear the organ in the chapel in the moonlight while we're strolling down the aisle where roses entwine. How I'd
love to hear you whisper in the chapel in the moonlight that the love light in your eyes forever will shine till the roses turn to ashes, till the organ turns to rust. If you never come, I'll still be there till the moonlight turns to dust. How I'd love to hear the choir in the chapel in the moonlight as they sing, oh, promise me forever be mine.
With you, wandering through memory lane. Joe Franklin hosting the big party, the program also known as Play It Again, Joe. Will Osborne in 1935, 36, 37 here in New York. He played in Delmonico's, the Park Central Hotel, the New Yorker, the Manhattan Towers, the Paradise Cafe, and of course all the top spots across the nation. Will Osborne composed many hit songs, including Beside an Open Fireplace, Between 18th and 19th on Chestnut Street, and among many others. I see that he wrote Charlie Barnett's smash instrumental, a song called Pompton Turnpike. Joe Franklin memory laning through the night over WOR New York and RKO station. At last, Daniel Antonivich's entire winter fur collection is on sale right now to the end of February, right through the end of this month, at the lowest prices of any season. Every mink, every fox, every lynx, every raccoon, every fur has been reduced from 40 to 65% off. The sponsor is Daniel Antonovich. And now's the time when they clear out their showrooms to make room for next season's inventory. Find the fur that's correct for you. A black llama mink coat, now only $1,995. A Canadian lynx coat, $4,500. Or a raccoon coat, $1,650 at Antonovich. Thousands of furs to choose from, my friends, all reduced from 40% to 65%. Save with the Antonovich tradition of quality and value. Chase away winter doldrums and treat yourself to warmth and luxury at one of Antonovich's convenient locations. Antonovich, New York, in the heart of the Fur District, 333 7th Avenue. That's the corner of 28th Street. Or Antonovich, New Jersey, on Route 46 West Patterson. Open Sunday through Friday, closed Saturday. Major credit cards accepted and free parking available. We've got a fur just for you, and you will say, ah, Antonovich. It is 12:30 a.m. I am with you, strolling up and down and around memory lane over the Star of New York, 7:10 a.m. WOR. Will Osborne, his orchestra, his vocal, 1936. A rare one, Pennies from Heaven.
contains pennies from heaven. You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me.
What a sound, huh? The late and romantic Will Osborne. I want to do one more by Will Osborne and his orchestra, this time with Will resting his vocal cords, vocal by Dick and Dorothy Rogers. These are collector's items. Joe Franklin, memory laning over the one and only WOR, something really new and different and exciting from Speakerman's for bread enthusiasts, giving you a chance to be creative or original or artistic or all of the preceding, as well as health-oriented. My sponsor is Speakerman's, the Union City and North Bergen and Secaucus bakeries. They've been producing good, all-natural bread since 1919, and now something really new. They offer you a do-it-yourself Swiss peasant bread sack, attractively packaged by a good friend of mine, John Carlos. Mr. Carlos is Speakerman's advertising manager. It's in a poly-lined, multi-purpose cotton sack with nylon drawstrings. The kit has already attracted many, many home bakers in northern New Jersey. The easy-to-follow directions guarantee 3 loaves of delicious bread, absolutely free of additives or preservatives. Baked bread, of course, can also be frozen or reheated successfully before serving. This product, which incidentally makes a most welcome gift to lovers of good food, is now available at Gordon's Gourmet. Jot it down, Gordon's Gourmet, alongside Fay and Allen, inside the Fay and Allen restaurant in Manhattan, at 3rd Avenue and 71st Street. Jot it down now, at Gordon's Gourmet. You're bound to run into some of the most discriminating shoppers in New York. Remember now, Gordon's Gourmet on the Upper East Side, 3rd Avenue and 71st Street. Corporate gift orders welcomed. And if you enjoy baking bread, this bread sack from Speakerman's is spectacular. Terrific. At Gordon's Gourmet, 71st Street and 3rd Avenue. It is fun to bake at home, and what a nice smell, that fresh baked aroma. It's got to be the world's nicest fragrance. One of the world's nicest orchestras, Will Osborne, 1935, vocal by Dick and Dorothy Rogers. It's de-lovely.
long, the skies are clear. And if you want to go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely.
I understand the reason why you're sentimental, but so am I. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely.
You can tell at a glance what a swell night this is romance. You can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low. Let yourself go. Please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me,
it's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable,
it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's delimit, it's deluxe, it's de-lovely.
And there we gave you one of the bands that should be remembered over memory lane, over WOR. Nobody else, anywhere, anytime, ever remembers Will Osborne, except you and me, and the night, and the memory. This is memory lane. I want to say a word, if I can, about the Empire State Dental Group. It's very important. Dental problems are truly annoying, vexing, painful, you might say, bothering to a great degree, bothersome to a fanatically painful degree. I recommend without any hesitation, my friends, the very popular, very proven Empire State Dental Group in the Empire State Building, 52nd floor. It's very comforting to know how nearby they are in that Empire State Building. Ready, ever ready to be completely at your service. Always in demand. They're getting busier every day over there in the Empire State Building. That's because word of mouth regarding Empire State Dental Group is mushrooming. It's unending. There is no dental problem, either a lingering one or an emergency need, you might call it, that they can't handle all the way. Everybody should go to a good dentist and a good group of caring dentists. For 20 years in the Empire State Building, on the 52nd floor, it's called Empire State Dental Group. They'll answer any question on the phone. That's their new service. Anybody can phone, ask any questions of them about teeth or gums, toothaches, fillings, crowns, bridges, dentures, bonding, dental fees, anything. They'll be glad to answer your questions on the phone. Call or visit the Empire State Dental Group. They're in the Empire State Building, 5th Avenue and 34th. Open weekdays 8:30 to 5:30. Phone for the information, 594-8060. Please jot it down. That's 594-8060. Expert dentists, each practicing in his own area of interest and skill. 212-594-8060. That's their number. This number is called Frankie Lane on Memory Lane, 1947, but beautiful.
Love is funny, or it's sad, or it's quiet, or it's mad. It's a good thing, or it's bad, oh, but beautiful. Beautiful to take a chance, and if you fall, you fall. And I'm thinking that I wouldn't mind at all. Love is tearful, or it's gay. It's a problem, or it's play. But it's a heartache either way. Oh, but beautiful. that if you were mine, I'd never let you go. That would be so beautiful, I know. If you were mine, I'd never let